Good afternoon, all ushers of Covenant Presbyterian. Hey, I'm calling this little virtual meeting together real quick to clarify how we're going to do the offering at large services like Lessons and Carols and Christmas Eve coming up. We don't have to do it very often anymore, maybe 5-6 times a year. So you will all be seeing this form more often here coming very soon. And I'm just going to run down where we're going to stop and start. Now, I know that usher teams in the past have just made it happen, and that's been fine. But I want to clarify it so we're all on the same page. Not any one team can handle a large service anymore. We're just not big enough anymore. We don't have that depth. So, 20 years ago or more, 4 out of 5 teams voted to pick a new spot or to pick a good spot halfway through the nave of the church to figure out where we're going to stop and start to make it as easy as it possibly can be, because it is confusing when you get busy and you're passing out little angels too, and you're trying to pass a plate and they're getting full. So anyway, if you look here in the nave, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. And someone said one time, well, why don't you just split the church in half? Let's just do that. Okay, that's a good suggestion. So let's walk forward. And it's going to be somewhere between the second and third column coming in. All right? Well, we thought, not much distinguishes these 3 pews, one from another. It could be confusing. So we thought, what can we do about that? So if you look down on the floor, there's red and white communion tape. And also, there is only one long pew after the second column. We thought, that's as good a mark as we can plan on having. So this is what we determined about 20 years ago. So it's easier on the outside people because you just stop when you're coming in and you're in the back. You begin on the only long pew past the second column. Now, your inside the aisle person has a tougher job. They're walking along and they're looking. You've got communion tape on the floor that helps you see where it is you're supposed to begin on this back section. Your partner starts on the long pew, and if you're on the inside, you start 1 pew ahead. It's the only pew that has red communion tape nearby. There used to be some other tape on the floor, and that was fine. Teams did what they had to do to make it happen. But on a CIC cleanup day, any tape that was not part of communion got scraped up and got gone. So that might be a good thing, because now we can eliminate the confusion. And like I said, this was something that 4 out of 5 usher teams voted on about 20 years ago or so. Back then, there was only 5 teams. But you see how much we've grown, and it's a great thing. So if you're in the front section and you're coming back, it's a little tough to make sure you don't go too far. You're looking at that communion tape. But, it never hurts if you offer the plate to a pew that's already had it passed. There's no crime in that. That's okay. They'll let you know. But anyway, I hope this clears things up. Like I said, the teams are not big enough for one team to do the whole service by themselves. We're going to be looking for help for those who are in town and available. And y'all are very generous about that, about your time. Matter of fact, everyone, all of the ushers of Covenant are very generous doing this volunteer service. You're not getting paid, but you show up week in, week out, and month in, month out. And it's just incredibly dedicated, and you're very much appreciated by me, and by the staff, and by your team leaders, and by the congregation. And that is the bottom line. Whether you're an 8:45 usher, a 9:30 or an 11 o'clocker, or a fellowship hall kids service usher, or a funeral usher, or a coordinator of the day usher, we are all ushers for Covenant Presbyterian. And we all need to be able to step in on any team at any time working for any crew chief. Whenever we're needed, we all need to be able to be cross-trained and just be able to slip in, slip out. Because in busy services, it gets tough. It gets tough to hand out candles, pass out bulletins, do the offering. It can be tough. So anyway, we appreciate you. You are all one giant team, and I appreciate that. So we'll be hearing some more information soon. Of course, Team 2, all teams number 2 have Christmas Eve. And then Teams 3 have lessons and carols coming up on the second week of December, like the 13th to the 14th. We'll make sure that's clear. But I appreciate you very much, and we will talk to you soon. God bless you. Thank you very much.